Hey, what's up, everyone? Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host, Vikka, Draziv, guys. Welcome to the show. Your first time here, do hit that like and subscribe button. And yes, what an awesome show and guest we have today. Uh, I want to say real happy new year to everyone who follow the real sun, right? It's not April Fool because for us today is 1st April already, for me at least here in Europe. And they had this 1 hour change. That's why we are also a little bit of late because of that, because of the confusion of the timings, right? Because they try to play around with it. I had a strange day in a way, right? You have like a 1 hour day is ahead, right? So at 2 a.m. last night, they already put it 1 hour ahead. So at 2 a.m., it was 3 a.m. already. So yeah, just trying to mix it up everything with this timing shit. But yeah, the sun is the real clock, and that's showing us that we are starting the new year right now, right from today. So yes, let's before we jump in with our awesome guest, I want to say a quick hello to my co-host all the way from New York, my brother Gene Edited. How are you, brother?
Hey guys, what's up, Vika? I'm doing good over here, bro. I like to say how the weeks go by so fast, and it's like, but today, bro, feels like March 82nd, and it feels like I haven't been here in weeks and weeks. I don't know what happened this week. It just seemed to like drag and take forever, right? But it's interesting how time's an illusion, and it's malleable and manipulatable, right? You could play games with time and ask for things. And so, no, I had a good week though, guys. And, thanks. Hi, everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here with us. We're going to have a really good show. We got OG, Effie on the way tonight, right? And sorry we're a little late, but here we are. And enjoy the show, everybody. Thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. It looks like these people are playing with the time. Like they can like make it more faster sometime. They're like literally, and we are like robots, like following their time, right? So yeah, crazy stuff. A- And the special guest tonight, really he don't need any introduction, right? He's quite known in the community. We already spoke a week back, also on TikTok. Like he's going full on TikTok trying to flat smack people, and it's a great pleasure to have him here finally on Heliopsychosis podcast. Uh, Nathan Thompson, brother, how are you doing? And welcome to Heliopsychosis.
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for having me on, gentlemen. I'm sure we share a ton of things in common, and we're going to have quite a bit to talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. So to get a little bit about your journey, when did it started, brother? Uh, and what was the thing that started make you feel like, hey, this is crazy stuff. The Earth is flat.
Well, I first started getting into conspiracies with 9/11. I learned about the nanothermite and World Trade Center 7, and that put me down a huge rabbit hole. So for the next 3 to 5 years, I was studying conspiracy theories, and nothing really made sense. I knew about secret societies and the Bilderberg Group, but I was studying the brain with a gentleman named Michael Lavery. He wrote a book called Whole Brain Power, and he's the most interesting and intelligent man I've ever met in my life. And he became like a father to me, and he called me every day for about 5 years, and we'd talk about things. And I never could find one thing he told me that wasn't true, and he was constantly telling me things that blew my mind. Like, for example, he helped me get taller in my late 20s and early 30s. And when he told me that was possible, I didn't believe him, but I knew he was really intelligent, so I applied everything he was telling me, and I started getting taller in my late 20s and early 30s. So this guy just constantly was blowing my mind. And one day he told me, Nathan, you got to go look into flat Earth. And I about dropped the phone because actually at first I was like, well, Michael, what are you talking about? How long have you been looking into it? I thought he was going to say like 3 days. I thought he's going to be like, oh, I just heard about it. It's a new conspiracy I'm looking into. He told me he's been looking into it for 7 months. I felt betrayed. I was like, you're my best friend, bro. We talk every day about everything. How do you hide this from me for 7 months? And he said, I just had to make sure. And that's the smartest guy I've ever met. It took him 7 months to tell me, his best friend. So like, think about that. And so I didn't sleep for 3 days. This is all I wanted to figure out. I didn't jump on TikTok and debate flat earthers. I didn't tell them they were wrong. I didn't call anyone an idiot. I just sat in my room for 3 days and researched, bro. And my life has never been the same, dude. It was a very profound moment, because if it is flat, this is something we need to tell everyone. We have a responsibility to tell everyone. So I went on a mission, bro. I started the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion because I was getting kicked out of every other Facebook group for asking simple questions. So I realized those were all disinformation groups, controlled opposition. They're trying to steer people away from the truth. So once we had the real thing, people came to it like, bees are attracted to honey. They swarmed over that stuff. And so the group blossomed into 150,000 people. I ended up doing about 300 meetups all over the flat earth. I've spoken internationally at a couple of the international conferences, but also in South Korea. A bunch of businessmen out there were being made fun of in the news. And they said, Nathan, we're going to do a conference. Will you be one of the speakers? So they flew me out to South Korea. And one of the best moments of my flat earth experience was that time. Those people out there were lovely, but it's just been such a blessing. The creator's taking care of me like the entire way. And I've just had so many, synchronicities that told me, oh, Nate, you're on the right path. So that's my story. And everything got censored a few years ago, with everything that was going on a few years ago. And just lost a lot of the motivation to keep sharing because I worked so hard at it. And then I saw the Dean Odell debate with Gene, and it really sparked a fire in me about how important this is again. So I got on TikTok and I started sharing a little more, and now here I am. So.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. A big shout out to Jeremy Bird for that super chat, brother. Awesome, and thanks for the support. And yeah, brother, I remember your group, Nathan, from Facebook, the one of the biggest group. I was also part of that group, and it was disappear. Right, these people literally try to shut us down in many ways. Right. Right now, I have one of a group on Facebook. I don't know if you're a member, but it's called World Flat Earth Association. All right, and we also get a lot of shadow ban, like heavy. There are months we are like, even we are like 60, we are reaching 70,000 people in that group, but still sometimes like you can see it like how they try to censor us. So I can understand, it can get you down sometime, right? When you create a platform like that with such a huge numbers, you really it affects you, right? I can totally understand that. But yeah, we have to keep going, right? We have amazing people in the community from every aspect doing things, so we should give our, even if it's minimal, right? So I think we are having an awesome stuff on TikTok too, right? You're doing great with those trolls there. Getting yeah,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
it's getting bad, bro. It's getting bad. It's getting to the point where these anti-flat earthers are jumping in and they'll just say sunsets are proof of Earth rotation. And they think we're 6 years old, bro. They think we're just going to believe this crap still. They think we don't have eyes and cameras and telescopes and like we're all grounded and can't leave the house and go test the Earth. Like, it's a joke, bro. They are getting annihilated. It's embarrassing on TikTok. I feel bad for the Globers on TikTok because I don't know what they're doing. It's like what's that condition? Is it sadomasochism where people like just enjoy being humiliated and beat up,
Tortured.
Yeah. So I'm like, what are these guys doing? There are people like that, and I think that they're all on TikTok. Otherwise I can't explain it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. No,
Oh
bro,
yeah,
they got that massive ego problem that the schools offer with their PhDs. That's what I think it is. It's more so the ego and the pride that they're not going to see it. How can these guys not see this stuff? I don't understand. I thought water alone, I was like, oh, this is going to be a home run. I had
Oh,
thought that a few times. There's no home runs for us with these guys, man.
I know, it's funny, bro. And once you say the Earth is flat, they're like, well, explain every observation in the observable universe that we see in the sky. And you're just like, man, We just don't have $60 million a day to do that. Well, all right, we'll try. And so we're doing our best, and we're coming up with some pretty good models and stuff of how things work and how to predict eclipses on flat Earth, which was all done thousands of years ago. But now we got to model it and stuff and put it into apps and stuff. So it's a different time. It's a good time to be alive, though. It's very interesting because there are tons of people waking up, bro. Like when I first started this 10 years ago, nobody I talked to knew it was flat. Now when I do activism, it's like 1 in 20 people already knows it's flat or is on the fence. Like the numbers are unreal compared to 10 years ago. So, and it's going to reach a tipping point too.
That'd be great.
So that's coming. So hopefully we're all working towards that. But
oh yeah, it's blowing up. It's totally blowing up because yesterday, like also in one of the lives, right, was one of the guy was an astrophysicist. He was claiming to be astrophysicist, and and in Rakia's live we were right, and it was crazy. It's a crazy conversation, right? These people, they only have drawings, they only have diagrams and some numbers, and they just want to deny real science, right? Literally.
Yeah, they got these CGI to add with that, but you can pick that apart. I tell a lot of people, go to ISS Live right now. Let's look at that. Let's look at Starman Live right now.
Yeah, here's something people should be offended about. The ISS is in the thermosphere. So I don't know why they call it the International Space Station at all.
What's the temperature there, bro?
It's approximately 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So that would melt every metal on the ISS 3 times over.
Well, maybe they're going fast enough to fly in between the scattered atoms out there, right?
No, that's another problem too, is they cannot demonstrate a gravitational orbit. This is something I've asked probably 20 Globers on TikTok, and they'll admit, they'll say, oh, do you want me to build a planet? So they're admitting they can't demonstrate it. Things only orbit planets because they have a religion on how the sky works. And they can't demonstrate it. Also, they've got a 3-body problem, which is going super mainstream on Netflix right now. It's a conundrum in astronomy and mathematics where you cannot have 3 bodies orbiting around each other. And that's a 3-body problem. There's like 170 things in our galaxy, all rotating around the sun. So, like, what is going on, guys? They can't solve for 3, and we're supposed to believe they can predict eclipses with 170? What a joke, dude. When are people going to wake up? So
that's a rough one. The 3-body problem. Look at bro. That's how they're sticking it in our face.
Oh, the show is insane. The show starts out with a scientist, admitting that he teaches the theory of relativity and he teaches the Big Bang and he believes it's true. And they took him out right there on stage in front of everyone. Yeah, they took him out. And then you've got all these astrophysicists from around the world working at the particle accelerators. None of their math works out. None of their theories are checking out. They're being debunked constantly by their particle accelerator. So then all of a sudden they start realizing something's wrong and they start seeing hallucinating numbers in the sky. And it's a countdown. And anyone who doesn't stop their work pushing the heliocentric lie, they end up being taken out or taking themselves out. But everyone who quits their work, the countdown stops and they can just continue living normal lives. How weird is that? Then they have this thing where it's a mirror and you put it on and immediately it's like our azimuthal grid of vision. Like it just shows how perspective works. They've got a long line. There's a temple, a pyramid at the end of the road, and the sun comes up over the horizon and rises directly above the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
So they're showing the ancient truth right there in plain sight. And then in this game, they've got to solve for the 3-body problem. And they go through 1 level, 2 level, 3 levels, 4, till they finally realize there is no way to solve the 3-body problem. And the lady says, congratulations, you passed. There is no way to solve for the 3-body problem. Wow. Like they put it in your face, bro, so hard. So you can lead a globe earther to flat water, but you cannot make them think critically about the shape of the earth.
It's true. That's true. Yeah, it's getting easier to talk to people. At least for me over here, it is. I try, and anybody I run into, I try bringing something up. I don't care. What do you think about flat Earth? I'll start it right there. It doesn't bother me. So, and I do that as often as I can. And a lot of people have heard about it. They're much more willing to hear more about it too, which is really great.
Yeah, that's why I think the flyers are essential. I've moved probably 100,000 flat Earth flyers over the last 5 years,
Nice.
and I just find it so much easier to talk to people when you have something you can hand them, and then it's not on them to go Google and figure out what are good avenues for finding information on this topic. They got the flyer in their hand.
Mm.
So I made a Bible one and I made a science one, just 10 proofs that are in the scripture. Talks about how Earth takes shape like clay under a seal. We have a firmament with the sun, the moon, the stars in it. Biblical cosmology is actually the exact opposite of the heliocentric model when you really break it down.
It's that backwards Satan shit, man.
It's a backwards Satan stuff, bro. The sun goes around the earth in the Bible. Well, the earth goes around the sun in the Bible. The earth is stationary in the Bible. Well, the heliocentric model says we're tilted, spinning, orbiting the sun, wobbling, flying through space. It's like, I remember thinking about this when I was younger. I was like, how are we going all these directions? And the earth just seems so still, bro. Like it just, and the clouds are like right there above our heads. Is it, if the earth's just some massive ball, like the air and the atmos and the climate, it doesn't even extend up to the sky. It's all right here. It's all made for us, which is, I think, is beautiful. It shows creation. So that's why they hide it. That's why they have to hide it.
Oh yeah, so this is the thing. It's not the flat earth is so wide and so like you have so many different ways of seeing and accepting, the ways, right, which resonates with us, right? So asking for one thing that which would be the best top flat earth evidence for you, which got you like that's the one top, right? But you could go on a couple more, right? Two, three. Which are the top two, three, like according to yourself, as the best proof for yourself for flat earth?
Yeah, the easiest ones I found to verify were that way too far, and then the cold moonlight test. But the first thing that got me thinking is the physical properties of water. I remember thinking in my head, if the Earth rotates as fast as they say it does, 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, and the Earth actually has a bulge, it's an oblate spheroid according to mainstream science, because of the rotation, well, then that force, that centrifugal force, would also affect water. It wouldn't just morph the rock over millions of years, it would affect the water. So all the water should be forming or piling up near the equator, because that's what water does on a ball, and then it flies off. It's like, so water is really simple. And then cold moonlight, they tell us that the sun is hitting off the moon and the moon is reflecting sunlight, but you can measure moonlight and it's measurably cold. Not only that, but they have Geo inside. Not only that, but we have opposite properties. Like the sun is drying, it's preserving. It's how we make beef jerky and stuff. The moonlight has a dampening effect. It's septic and it's putrefying. It causes things to decay. So the yin and the yang right there in our face, ladies and gentlemen, which is actually a flat earth symbol. It's one of the first symbols man ever made. And it's a depiction of the sun and the moon going around a flat earth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A big shout out to our brother Matthew. Like always, brother, supporting. Big shout out to you, brother. And this is the thing, right? People can have different opinions. Even we flat earthers could have different opinions about some things, right? For example, I have had few heated debate with Fred, right? So we don't have to agree on everything, even if we are flat earthers, right? And especially we were speaking about the eclipses and things didn't go very well, but yeah, we should listen to all, right? And sometimes he just don't want to listen to people, right? So we had that few heated moment, but we he gets it too, right? Till where to stretch things, right? So
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what kind
see
of
I see
yeah,
the fact that we all have different views and opinions on Earth very beneficial, because if you believe everything I believe and I believe everything you believe, well, you can't teach me anything and I can't teach you anything.
exactly. Oh yeah.
And if you believe everything everyone around you believes, well, look around, because you're in a cult, right? That's just
Yeah.
plain and
and
simple, bro.
and and
I
and
mean,
is and if you change your mind about the beliefs, so they're going to kick you out because of it too.
yeah, that's something I hear a lot on TikTok, is the B word, believe. And when you're talking about the shape of the earth or what earth is, I don't know why people are pretending it's anything we need to believe or do believe. It's a bad word in my opinion. Every time I hear it, I get the heebie-jeebies. I'm
True.
like, ew, who wants to talk about belief when we're talking about the shape of the earth? We can go outside and test the floor. I mean, it's not that hard. We're not little kids anymore stuck in a classroom. So,
Yeah,
Oh
people,
yeah.
people, I still get confronted with, you know, 10 miles away is 60-foot drop, and at 60 feet, buildings really should be showing some kind of divergence at that point. 20 miles and 30 miles is like 600-foot drop, and surely from 30 miles away, where you can see straight down the Hudson, you can see Manhattan, and nothing's showing up.
yeah,
People think that.
I've had Globers that get super upset and end the conversation and walk away because I tell them what the curvature formula is.
Yeah.
They simply say that I'm lying about their own curve calculators and their own geometry. I didn't claim your ball Earth has a radius of 3959. The Delphic oracles of your heliocentric priesthood did. So don't blame me for your Earth curve calculator being something we should observe, but clearly
Yeah.
don't. You know what I
And,
mean?
and something they never really taught either.
Of course, they never taught it. I used to walk into large groups of people and hold money up in the air and say, I got $20 for anyone that knows the curvature formula of Earth. And we would do this at Harvard and MIT. And we go to schools with like all the smartest people. And I had one person win the money, and he said, that's because the curvature rate is none. The Earth is flat. And I said, well, sir,
Ah,
that
that's
actually is the
great.
proper curvature formula. So I gave him the $20, but I can't remember one time anyone ever got it.
Yeah. I saw you do that in the hotel lobby at one of the cashiers, bro. Remember? That was
Oh,
great.
was I asking
20.
her about stars, or did I do the curvature formula?
Well, I'm not even sure, but it was one or the other. I thought it was curvature formula.
Yeah, because another one I do is I show real video of stars that I've taken or other flat earthers have taken. I'll say, what is this? And they'll start talking about portals and all kinds of weird stuff. And I'm like, man,
It was that.
people don't even know what a star looks like, bro. It's like
Yeah.
they've hijacked our minds so hard from a young age to where like twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are is still a freaking reality for people. Like they have no clue what they are.
Hey, what's the next line? Up above the world so high, right? Not all the way out in the skies, up above the world.
Exactly. Like oh, the truth in music is beautiful. When the
Yeah.
moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore, right? The pizza pie is flat. Pies are flat. Why didn't he say it's a ball? You know, the wheel in the sky keeps on
Yeah.
turning, right?
So
The
much of it,
Beatles,
bro.
the Beatles, we all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. Well, that's water above, water below. That's a submarine. So they put it everywhere, bro. They put it everywhere because no one's listening to music for truth. They're just like, oh, this is a beautiful
Yeah.
song. Oh,
They
that's
think
all I
it's
can get from it.
entertainment, bro. It's not entertainment. Movies are not. They're not here to make us have a good day. I'll never be convinced of that anymore. The movie movies, TV, radio, music, all of that was created for the distraction and the disinformation, bro, and the truth, where they put the truth in plain sight and they mock us with it. So it's really twisted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna put the truth everywhere you're not looking for it, and everywhere you're looking for the truth, that's where you're gonna find the lies.
Yeah. You know what I was saying before about the calculator and, 10, 20, 30 miles being a noticeable drop and it's not to be found is that they'll go right back to the ball where it's like, well, we're too small to see it. And I'm like, no, man, numbers don't lie. People do. Those numbers are real. I don't care how big the ball is. A 60-foot drop, still a 600-foot drop, a 10 and 30 miles, it's
Oh,
still calculable. It still should be noticed. They're robbing you of your own senses at
bro,
that point.
last night we got a Glober named Box to say the Earth looks 10 times bigger sometimes because
Oh,
the
what?
horizon.
Atmospheric conditions?
Sorry, go ahead.
Wow. What? Why? What was his reasoning behind that happening?
Well, I showed them the black swan, and according to their globe Earth religion, the horizon would be 1.2 miles out for a 1-foot observer, and I showed it's clearly past 9.5 miles with platform habitat. So he had to say that the Earth just looks 10 times bigger than it actually is, giving it
Pretty good.
it's basically the orbital path of the moon is the radius value of Earth sometimes. Like, what are these globers? The mental gymnastics involved to
Yeah.
save that kind of religion is unreal, dude. Unreal.
Yeah. Yeah. And bro, that guy Aaron, you were debating him a week or so ago. That guy quit 3 times before he left, bro.
Oh man, he
Fuck
was out
you,
of there
I'm
lickety
out.
split. He was like, "Hi, my name's Aaron Raw. I hate the creator. I don't have any evidence of the R value. I'll see you guys later. Peace out." That was his whole debate.
That was pretty bad, bro.
That was funny, bro. That was one of my favorite debates. I've debated all the big names, bro. It got to the point where when I debated Fight the Flat Earth, I had to count at the beginning of the debate insults and interruptions, and it got to over 55 insults and interruptions in a single debate, bro. And these are the people representing the globe model. They're just melting, bro. They are losing their religion. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spot. Like losing my globe earth religion.
That band also did, if you believe, walking. They put a man on the moon. REM. Yeah, look at that, man.
Yeah, and Stand. That other song, Stand, that's another great song where the lyrics all point to our flat
Oh,
earth. Sweet dreams are made of these. And the lady literally points to a globe in the music video.
yeah. Right. She's got the video in the back. There's a globe on the desk. She's pointing at things. How crazy, bro. And people just like, no, that's Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's
and then
just
you
Oh yeah.
Hollywood.
yeah.
They're balancing it out. They are balancing it out, right? They are doing their job by showing it to the people. If the people are so indoctrinated and they can see it, they're gonna be like, like, okay, maybe if they think that there's a creator, they could say, we at least gave signs, right? And the people didn't want it to see. There are things just so obvious, but they don't want to see, right? But you said, I think I saw one of your posts where you said like a recently converted flat earther on TikTok, right? You were speaking to him and he converted recently or something.
Yeah, he was on the fence for a while, and for months he was making friends with all these anti-flat earthers and trying to hear him out and giving him a platform to debate. And then he just decided, look, bro, I'm over it. It's flat, bro. I'm going full flat. You guys got to prove this globe. It's nonsense. And you would not believe how fast the Globers all turned on this guy, spit in his face, tried to tell him he's the biggest idiot. And they were all buddies a day ago. They were all buddies last week, but you leave their cult, bro, and they viciously attack you. So I posted the link on my Facebook. If anyone wants to go check out his TikTok, they're doing daily debates over there. He was debating this morning when I was going to sleep. So it's out there, bro. It's awesome. We're gaining numbers exponentially at this point. So But
You know,
Oh,
people that are honest with themselves can't help it though, bro.
yeah, and again, it's not a popularity contest. The way I see it is all things work towards good for those that love the Creator and are called according to his purpose. His plan is good. So I'm not worried about it. If everyone wakes up, great. If everyone doesn't wake up, that's great too, bro. That's just the plan. I'm sorry. A lot of people might live their entire lives deceived about the nature of our reality. But that's why I'm so passionate about it, waking people up. I can't find one topic that can change people's lives more than this topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this leads to a lot of other things opening up much easier. You know, because a lot of people, you know, they're like, all right, politics ain't real, but NASA's still cool. And it's like, nah, man, neither one are cool.
Yeah,
You know?
and I can't think of an easier way to prove the phony baloney going on in politics other than the flat earth. I mean, this is the biggest conspiracy that we could all prove to ourselves
Yeah, that they're
and,
all in on it.
and then really hold their feet to the fire. And maybe we'll get to like use that Second Amendment everyone's so proud of one day. I don't know, who knows? But I mean, it could get very real very fast in the near future.
Yeah, real near, bro. After last week.
Yeah, like a clip's near.
Yeah, man. But you know, all these things are litmus tests, bro. I say it a lot, but I believe it, and I'm convinced of it. You're gonna have to convince me otherwise again, because you know, the more these NASA videos are fake, the worse they get, and the more people cheer them on. They know exactly what people's mental state is and how far they can go in the real world.
Yeah, if you look on the three body problem, there's a part in the three body problem where the aliens figure out that all the humans are liars. And so they hijack all their cell phones and television networks and they just put across it, you are bugs. They just tell everyone, you are bugs, bro. And that's exactly what the elite want to tell everyone, right? But they can't just come out on CNN and MSN and Google News and say, hey, we think you're all a bunch of bugs. You're a bunch of pests that we need to exterminate and squash like a cockroach under our shoe. But they can't do that right now. So they got to put it in a movie and hide the truth in plain sight and tell them in the movie, hey, we think you're all bugs and we're better than you.
Yeah. So people go home and laugh at it and they chat about it and think how cute it is. That's the conditioning, you know. What is that? You know, they just soften us up to the truth, but with these, you know, the alien movies and all of that stuff softens us up to the truth, because if they come out with something so ridiculous, people would freak out. So right, yeah, they hide that stuff right in front of us. They're pretty clever, but truth will prevail. I know that.
Yeah, I do have to give them credit. They are extremely clever,
Right.
but not clever enough. I mean, you're not going to beat a creator that knows your thoughts. There's just no way. So,
No, and you know, things do have to play out, man. And you know, like you can't shake them to wake them. Not everybody's gonna wake up either, bro. It's just not gonna happen.
yeah, and all good things come from above. So it's not our job to wake people up. Anyways, it's just our job to plant the seed and
Yeah,
be a diligent steward of the truth. So,
yeah.
and steward of the animals. I don't want to go there and trigger anyone though, so it's all good.
No, you know, the animals and plants, we're all here together, man.
So yeah, I've been vegan for 8 years. About a month or two after discovering the Earth is flat, I'm finding all these new friends online, and I think they're the coolest people ever because you know we share this thing we've just discovered that nobody else knows. And I remember someone said, "Nathan, I love everything you're talking about with flat Earth, but I can't follow you if you're posting dead animals that you eat. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to unfollow you." I said, "What the hell? You people exist? Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're not gonna follow me on Facebook because I eat animals?" I was like, "What do you?"
You see, as
So
soon
I
as you
watched.
don't agree, they kick you out, man.
So I watched a video, And ever since then, my whole life changed, bro. I watched 15 minutes of it. I wanted to throw up. It's a video called Earthlings. And I quit eating meat and animal products, and I'll never look back, bro. I've never felt better, and I've never felt better about a decision. It's very similar to how I feel about the flat Earth. It's one of the best things that ever happened to me. So I just want to share that with everyone.
That's great, bro. That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. Sacrifices always brings you other things, right? Which you can't.
True.
Yeah, people have different consciousness on the term of eating, right? For sure, if we don't have anything, we might eat even anything that would move, right? It's but if there are possibilities that you could eat healthy and simple food, I think the best option, the situation now is to eat freaking less, right? Eat less, whatever you freaking eat, like,
Yeah,
eat less,
I agree, bro.
so so and out of that less, if you try to have something healthier option, then it multiplies, right? So because
Yesterday it was
yeah,
about 10 o'clock or 10:30, um, maybe 9 o'clock, and I started to not feel too great, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't eaten today, and I had some peanut butter and a glass of milk. That was it. I didn't feel too awesome. If you go on any kind of diet like that, be careful with how you switch your diet up, guys. It could be rough on you. But
I,
no, I don't eat a lot. I try not to, and I like not to. So
I think it's an individual thing. It's a cultural thing, genetic thing, whatever you want to call it. I think we shouldn't judge anybody on what they eat, right? Because
no,
it's the same thing goes for anything with the uh, jabby or other stuff, right? If we avoid the hot words, right? So it's it's personal choice. People do what they want to do. So if we go like this, we won't be able to speak with anybody, because everybody have different way of seeing life and doing things, right? And it just I think as long as we respect in every aspect to the other people, I think it helps, all right? Because we are freaking no one to judge anybody, yeah,
Yeah, it
on
reminds me of
that
the
matter.
verse. Reminds me of the verse, "What is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt." All right, so in scripture, love is patient
I
and
get you
kind.
back for that one, man.
Love is patient and kind. It is not jealous, boastful, proud, or rude. It does not demand its own way. It's not irritated, and it keeps no record of anyone ever does wrong.
No hard feelings, right, man? Absolutely.
It does not rejoice in iniquity, but it rejoices in the truth. And love never gives up, never loses hope, is always faithful, and endures all things. It's just so beautiful, right? So if you could take your name and put Gene is patient and kind. Gene is never boastful or rude. Gene doesn't demand his own way. He's not irritated. Gene doesn't keep records of anything anyone ever does wrong. That's the kind of person we all want to be and which should thrive to be. So I recommend keeping that in mind when sharing the truth with people, is that love is patient and kind. It doesn't demand its own way. So it's all good. Let them be Globers if they want to be Globers. Our job is just to plant the seed.
I like that, man. I write that down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are some people in the chat. uh, yeah, if anybody have any question for our guest Nathan, please leave it in the chat. We will try to ask him the questions. I'll just give a quick shout out after a long time to the people in the chat. Dr. Frankenstein, then there's Jeremy Bird. Awesome, brother. Thanks for the super chat. Then it's Evelyn Gold. Hello, Evelyn. Long time no see. There's Queen M. Then there is our brother Gene there. And then there is Robin Lee McIntosh. Big hello to you too. Then there's Rico Sauran. Hey, brother. Winston. Then we have Josh Monday. Hey, brother. Yeah, see you soon next week for in your podcast, brother. Looking forward for it. So then there is Stephanie McGuire, Iron Horse. Big shout out. Daniel Triplet, Run Boston Bear. Hey, hello, brother. And then we have In Ram, or how is it? In Ram. If you're first time here, do hit that like and subscribe button, people. And then there is our brother Matthew. Big shout out to you for that 5 membership, brother. Then there's Derek O'Hara, John C. Edity, John C. Oddity, right? And yeah, any question for our guest? Is here anytime you thought of, hey, if I would ever see Nathan somewhere, I would like to have a question. So there's your moment, guys. Leave it in the chat. This Pakal McCleaver. Yeah, Robert Kelly. All right. So before we continue, let's jump into a bit of aliens and extra lands. Nathan, what are your idea about aliens and extra lands that's going around with all those maps coming out, and your take, brother?
Well, the word extraterrestrial, it could mean outside of Earth. So you could be talking about outside the perimeter of Earth, which would be Antarctica, or you could be talking about another dimension. So a lion starts with a lie. So right away you got problems there, and the fact that space is fake. We live in a firmament dome, so there's no little green men coming to visit the Earth. I think it's much more plausible these are interdimensional beings, like Transformers robots in disguise. You know, an entire story where there's a fight in heaven, and then these robots come down to Earth, and there's good ones and bad ones, and they fight. Right? That's just all fairy tale, right? It's not based in reality. No, they're putting the truth in plain sight right there. I think that's what the demons are, and but again, that's all speculation. And when it comes to outer worlds or outside land, the only real evidence I hear from the flat earthers, other than ancient maps, which we can't confirm, is Admiral Byrd. And Admiral Byrd opened a Freemasonic lodge in Antarctica, and it's called the Lodge 777. And he worked for the government. And Byrd's is a euphemism that the elite use for the masses. So if they're going to make up a story and give it to the Byrds, well, they're going to put it right in your face, bro, and call him Admiral Byrd. He's one of the most decorated people in the U.S. military in history. Yeah. So I don't trust that guy. I mean, if he told me it was raining outside, I would go look out the window and verify for myself, dude.
Yeah, he had 3 ticker tape parades.
Outer
Man. Nobody
land,
had
aliens.
Yeah, in the green ones, looks this green UFO, the grays, and all they want to sell us to the space sci-fi. Yeah, that might maybe it's all made of shit. But what about humanoids from lands nearer, right? Humanoids don't have to be right, and with higher technologies, right, or other civilizations that maybe not on the other lands that they want to say. They could be just near, and they're just not on the map, right? Because all of the civilization, all of the ancient cosmologies speak about beings coming from somewhere, that they're not from here, right? And that's been in a way documented in all their art and construction and many different things, right? The ancients always looked to the stars, right? Maybe they knew that they're not literally coming from the space, but from outer lands, right? So it's a quite subject where, because the grays could be just robots, like machines, right? Organic mix of something, or even projections, or because there are a lot of people speaking about getting abducted and having visions and seeing things and contact, because there are people who see things. I myself seen flying crazy stuff, right? So
I've seen video of it too. And guys, the dogs were reacting in dogs from over here, dogs from over there. You heard the dogs talking. The fucking lights were bouncing around. It was really weird, guys. I saw it. And I was like, oh, very
and
interesting, man.
oh yeah, and not only the recent ones, but also from many years. Yeah, go ahead, brother Nathan, if you want to add something.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say, I'll be near the computer soon. I'll turn my video camera on. I'll show you some of the flat earth meetups I've done, observations I have, some of the videos I've taken of star trails and stars. So I'll try and get the
Nice.
video up soon, guys. Sorry about it. We had a miscommunication with time. So I'm still taking care of some things. I thought I had till 4. So,
No worries, brother. This is great.
but yeah,
Yeah,
what
guys,
are your thoughts, Gene, on outer land and aliens? I don't think you got a chance to speak about it.
the aliens, I think could be a few things. I think the vibration where we're at could let other dimensional beings be seen or not seen. Like maybe even the cryptids could have something to do with that. Interdimensional, like ultra dimensional beings, they're here and they're gone. Fairies, the elves, the dwarves, and stuff like that. It could be a vibrational thing where they're right here, but we're not vibrating at the right frequency to see them. Um, it could be, you know, in the vitamins coming out of the airplanes in the sky that leave perfectly straight lines for miles and miles. There's barium and strontium, which are two of the main ingredients for super high tech 3D holograms, which I hear that, they're possibly such high tech that they're working out light beams that can pick things up. Right. So, and they reverse engineer everything. We're light beings. We're just a low vibrational light. So, I don't scoff something like that off. I had somebody scoffed it off who I was like, really? You don't believe? He's like, no, nothing ever like that. Light can't pick things up. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. I don't know, But we do know the military is so far advanced that we don't know what they're doing, what they're up to. And the outer lands, yeah, look at the ball. Look at the globe, guys. The globe shows the Pacific Ocean as like 90% of half the globe. So yeah, I think there could be lands right on the map that we know, as well as out past Antarctica, where Vikka just had a really great video recently about what appears to be some guys looking around Antarctica where there was no snow at all. There's three main points on the globe that we can get to Antarctica: is Australia, South Africa, and South America. Other than that, we don't have the means of transportation to go too far. So we can't even get to the buoys at the 60th parallel for most places to trigger the buoys to send in the troops to come get us out of there, right? So we're limited to where we can even try to get access. And then we know that the access is restricted right there. But what about all the rest of the land? Like, what about out in here? Here's the Pacific Ocean right here. What about out here? It doesn't have to be frozen. I've certainly never been there. So yeah, there could be another race of people over there with all different kinds of foods and animals that we have no idea about. You know?
I had a friend, because I had about 100 moderators for the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. I remember one of them telling me how he went to Antarctica in an ice-breaking ship, and the ship was specifically designed to cut through giant layers of ice, bro. And think about this. They put 1 million pounds of metal in the front of the boat, and then they designed the boat like a knife so that when they drive up onto the ice, they slice through it. They karate chop through it.
Right.
And he says the hardest record of any ice that they ever chopped through was 28 feet thick of ice. So
Dude.
imagine navigating those kind of waters to what? To find out maybe if there's possibly more land. I mean,
Right.
until we have NASA's budget, I mean, we're better off talking about little green men still. I mean, it's just like It's like, till we have their budget, bro, we're not going there in a tugboat. We're not putting beers in a cooler and driving our minivan to the edge.
Right.
It's way more complicated. The place was designed specifically for us, and it almost looks like it's designed to keep us in.
Possibly. You know what I've also heard though, bro, is that there's periodic like a recession or summer, if you will, that where cargo ships are getting GPS pings 400 miles past the the inner edge of Antarctica, and supposedly there's just ice there. But I don't know. But yeah, ice can be as hard as concrete. Ice is no joke. You guys is out there breaking ice out in front of your front porch. You know what I'm talking about. Ice wins. With those old stone walls that they don't use cement. Those old stone walls that last hundreds of years. The reason why they last is because they're not cemented, and when it freezes, they can what they call heave, and they just flex with the motion. But when ice grabs a hold of something, it's gonna move it around. That's why there's a frost line, and you got to dig below it, because if you're not below the frost line, ice will grab the entire structure and push it around.
Oh yeah, exactly. When you in the video you're speaking about that I put the other day, and I translated it because it was originally in Russian and somebody did it in Spanish. I don't speak Russian, so somebody did it in Spanish, so I could translate it, right? So you see, he's showing some ice that he says it looks very different, right? It looks more like a marble kind of thing, right? So and people have to understand that there are possibilities, right? People don't know about sea cliffs. Sea cliffs could be of any color depending on the soil, right? There could be sea cliffs. There exist sea cliffs which looks almost like an ice wall, but it's not ice. I have shared on my feed and in my groups photo like that. You can see white sea cliffs. Even if you Google white sea cliffs, some are near Scotland or Iceland, or there are many places, and looks like an ice wall, but it has nothing to do with ice, right?
Yeah.
So
Captain Cook. Oh, sorry, bro.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Captain Cook, he tried to sail around Antarctica. I mean, if it's just a island on the bottom of a ball with roughly 12,000 miles around it, I mean, it wouldn't take you 3 years to try and go around Antarctica. That doesn't make any sense. And Antarctica has drastically different fauna and flora than the North and South. Like we've been saying, it's just ice. Well, in the North, they got Christmas trees and reindeer. So it's not analogous. And you look at the UV light, it's all focused right around the equator on the UV light index maps. And then look at seasonal temperature ranges. Like they're drastically different. The temperatures are drastically different in the north than in the south. And I ran the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion for 6 years. I asked Globers every winter, is anyone in the south going to film the 24-hour sun and prove it for themselves? Because we've got 2 or 3 videos and they're objectively fake. They're obviously fake. They're misleading and fake. So for 6 years, I was like, dude, we'll shut the group down. Just go show me a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And it just ain't happening, bro. We're not even getting 21 or 22 hours in the south at latitudes that we should. So I think it's flat, bro. I think it's flat.
Go ahead, Gene. You wanted to say something earlier.
Oh, I lost train of thought, man. Sorry. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. So this is the thing. Before you were mentioning about the map, right? You showed that like there could be land very near to the south. There are ancient maps which speaks about that it was more easier to go from South Africa to South America through that land below there than to go by the Atlantic Sea. I don't know if you remember, Gene. We did discuss that in our when we shared all those maps, ancient maps together.
That what?
The ancient map podcast. You remember we did few podcasts on maps on Monte Urbano and some maps when we did especially the Antarctica 3D podcast. And in some of the maps, you see there was like literally land below Antarctica to the southern part, right?
Yeah.
So in some of those map, and they say that it looks like it was more easier to go from that southern tip of South Africa to South America through the land, right?
Right.
Hey, Nathan, you're there already on video, brother?
Look at those files. How you keep track of that, bro?
Astrolabe, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, brother, whatever you want to share. Nathan, we don't hear you, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I was muted, bro. I've been driving around taking care of my dog. Sorry about that.
We could see what you were sharing, but we didn't hear anything. If you want to go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just clicking on some of the maps in this file I've got for ancient maps. I mean, they're all so interesting, and I haven't spent any time like really in this file, but I guarantee you there's so much truth in plain sight that we could figure out from these. I've also made these available to flat earthers along my journey. So if anyone's looking to get something like this, I'll go through what it has, but email me at flatearthflyers@gmail.com. This thing right here. So we've got apps and programs, astrophotography, memes, books, and video clips. Now the best is the books. You go to ancient, you got African, Australian, biblical, Chinese, Greek, Hindu, Irish, Islamic, Japanese, Mayan, medieval, Miss, and Norse. I said miscellaneous. So I clicked on Bible. And this is all everything in the Bible flyer. And so you've got the Apocrypha, all the hidden books of Scripture. These are all in here. Then you go to like new books. Boom. These are all the new Flat Earth books that people have made available on Google that you could just download for yourself.
Great.
And then I've got old books, and these are all separated by author. So let's scroll down like this. We got Samuel Robotham right here. And these are all the literature about Samuel Robotham and what he said about that. And what I like about this is I can type, for example, solar eclipse in the keyword. And I've got 4, 10, and this one has 184 files about solar eclipses. And you can go directly in all those books and find out where they're talking about solar eclipses. So I mean, if anyone wants me to research anything in particular, or you want one of these, or you have questions about something, please type it in the chat or email me at flatearthflyers.com. I'm always here to help, guys. So always here to help.
Awesome. If you want to read something, anything from there about the eclipse or something, go ahead, because we are coming down to an eclipse very near. Next week we have that famous solar eclipse. If you want to pull out something interesting, I want to mention about the eclipse and what do you think about what's happening with the eclipse also in a way, right? What are the thoughts, right?
Yeah, so here we've got the grand discovery had first to be made by resolving dates into their natural solar cycles. This is from Alex Gleason. Is the Bible from Heaven? Is the Earth a globe? The natural solar cycles, which is other stern and scientific determination of time, and particularly with the lunar years, which are definitely formed by lunar movements. So Samuel Robotham says in his book, Zetetic Astronomy, the cause of solar eclipses is the moon moving between the Earth and the sun. So I think that's what we're going to see on the 8th. Now, when the moon is in the new moon phase, we don't see it. It's pretty much invisible according to the globe earth religion and what we observe on flat earth. You can't see it for a couple days. So when it eclipses the sun, I'm not expecting to see the moon with all its topography and everything the way we normally see the moon, because it's a new moon. That's not what we saw before the eclipse, and it's not what we're going to see after. So and I've got lots of ancient stuff in here. I could find more about it's. Here we go. This were from the Mayans. And the Mayans also thought that, this is a geocentric Earth. You got all the planets down here on concentric rings, like Scripture talks about, the wheels within the wheels. And then you've got the sun and the moon on opposite sides. And then you've got the sun and the moon on the same side. So, I mean, all the ancient cultures, not all of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but many of them thought the cause of the eclipse we're going to see on the 8th is the moon. And I looked it up on Stellarium. We did all the angles and everything, and I think it does match up with a flat Earth and a globe, that it's just the moon in the sky blocking out the sun. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Cool, because we were having some issues. Yeah, Gene, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, bro. I was wondering if you guys had any thoughts on why they're making it such a hype.
Anything they can do to make people afraid, bro. They did it with Y2K.
Okay.
Who knows? And if they do something, well, we're going to be caught with our pants down, because it's like the boy who cried wolf. Well, they said something's going to happen here. It didn't happen. They said something's going to happen here. It didn't happen. So once everyone lets their guard down enough and they've had enough false flags,
plug.
maybe this one's it, bro. Maybe this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't know. I can't tell for sure.
And I hear you, man.
Oh yeah, and it could be just a distraction also for something else to just hype so much, and they would do other crap right on other side. So yeah, there are a few other maps also which shows, because I was discussing this with Geocentric on Discord, me and Gene, right? In the Monte Urbano map, you have a similar diagram that what you showed in the end in the corner, and it shows like also the moon is involved, right? So maybe in the solar eclipse there might be the moon involved, because it looks very near. Also in other softwares it looks very near, and it's a new moon, so it's like totally not charged, it's 0%, right? So it's totally dark, right? So that might be some truth there happening there, with I think the North Pole or the electromagnetic fields playing the part. But then what it could be with the sun, with the lunar eclipse, then what the hell is happening there, right? Because that's not the Earth in the middle, right?
The only thing I observe in nature that is similar to the lunar eclipse, with the umbra being glowing red and the penumbra being what looks like a dark shadow, or just light being obstructed, is like Bell's theorem, and how if you take two polarized lenses and you put them over each other, they block out all the light. But then if you add a third lens, well, there's more light coming through than when there's two lenses blocking out the light, which debunks the idea that light is a photon. But like, what the hell's going on there, bro? But what we see with those lenses is the same thing we see with the moon. So I think it might be some type of polarization of the light. It doesn't even have to be an object blocking it, in my opinion, but it could be also. I'm not entirely sure. The cause of lunar eclipses, I'm not sure I can attribute it to invisible moons yet. So I'm still researching it.
Awesome. We have more people joining us. Good people. Also, I'm going to give a quick shout out. Stephanie Campbell is there, long time Stephanie. Then there's Eldon Beanie, John Spark. Then we have Don Dusselt, Henry Odom. And then we've got Raul, our brother from Firmamental Podcast.
That's a great guy.
See you guys next week here. Right. And then there's Angle of Elevation, Chris Hillman. Brother, big shout out to you. Oh yeah, that's why I was saying that we have to be open with different opinions, right? Maybe it helps in a bigger picture, right? We all agree that the Earth is level, right, and the water doesn't curve, right? The dome, the dome have different people have different views about the dome, right? Some people don't want to speak about the firmament, yeah, the sun and moon and all the astronomy is very close, right? So we have to be open because people speak about uh, the water above the dome, right? That's why you see the sky blue, right? There is different opinions, right? The sky blue can be only because of the gases, right, in the atmosphere, because if you really go above, it's more dark. So, and the rainbow being because of the dome, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, because there are rainbows which are circle. What do you have to say about that? Because I know there are different opinions. That's a quite interesting one.
Yeah, it's not the sky that's blue, it's just the air around us, because as you go up, the sky turns black. So it's definitely what's around us. I'll show here. I was just reviewing. This is the Zetetic Astronomy by Samuel Robotham. Earth is not a globe, and rules to find all particulars of a lunar eclipse, to find time, magnitude, and duration of a lunar eclipse. It talks about the section of the Earth's shadow at distance to the moon, the path described by its center, the ecliptic, the relative orbit of the moon, being considered straight lines, draw perpendicular. So I'm not seeing anything in here about invisible bodies to calculate. They do have here the radius of the section of the shadow, but they're not calling it Rahu or K2. They're just saying it's the shadow, which we all know it's not like sun's light being obstructed. It's just the shadow of the moonlight is what they're saying when they say that. So yeah, just I don't know. We're gonna, it's funny. The scripture says the the heavens declare the glory of the Creator, and the firmament shows His handiwork. And if you think His handiwork's just going to be a plus minus equation or something simple, let me tell you, bro, He's far more detailed than that. He's way into the details.
Yeah, well, Darwin said he has no clue about how the human eye came to be, right? The details in that, the nerve endings, the optics, so it's human eye is just crazy. Talk about details. Hey, you know what?
People speak. Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
I just wanted to bring up, man. Me and Vika been together for 2 years doing the show, and we don't agree on everything, but we don't really, argue about what we disagree about. I mean, I never had an argument or like any kind of heated discussion or anything with Vika. Well, most of you guys, it's just we go to things that we can concentrate on, which is cool. We're not looking for where we're divided. We're looking to close those divisions with conversation,
What
which
do
is
you,
something globies don't really want to offer.
Vika? Are you telling me jeans never look like this? Come on, come
Not on
on.
with
camera.
with Globers, yeah, with Globers, yeah, he gets some time like that.
No doubt. That's great.
This has NASA taking me away with a bag over my head. It says, "Your jig is up, Nathan." Clovers make some funny memes about me, bro. Oh my gosh, they're hilarious.
So yes, is that you? Did you tell me that? Did they edit you in there?
Well, no, these are two guys with ski masks on with NASA jackets, and the guy's got a potato sack over his head, and it says, "Your jig is up, Nathan."
That's great.
Oh man, that's pretty funny, dude. So yeah, someone made me this. I've actually got it right here. So they
What is
made
that?
a jewelry maker made me a seal for clay or wax. So whenever I mail flyers to someone, I do a handwritten note, and then I put a flat earth seal, boom, right at the top of it. So
That's great.
a lot of people have told me 5-6 years later, bro, I still have that note you wrote me with the seal. I thought that was the coolest thing. It's hanging on my wall. So
Yeah, dude, I want one.
I know, right? Tell
Yeah.
Johnny Perry on Facebook. He sent me this. He's a jewelry maker, but
No, I want
just
to steal from you. I mean, I gotta.
yeah.
Yeah.
So someone just sent me this week. This is, I think it might even be Jeremy in the comments. He 3D printed this. It's plastic and it's got a hole right here for light. And once you shine light through it, it all of this stuff glows like super crazy and super cool.
That's great.
The UN logo.
There it is.
Flat Earth map. He's got a picture of me from Behind the Curve. I don't know if you guys know, I was in the Netflix hit piece Behind the Curve with Bob Nodell and Jaron and Chris Pontius. So total hit piece, but you know, like I honestly believe all these Globers, they should go back to playing video games and they should go back to, you know, stuff that doesn't matter, because talking about flat Earth is just going to make them look worse and worse. We're going to get bigger and bigger. We're going to keep gaining traction. Like you cannot count how many people on TikTok have said, Nathan, I never heard of you, but the Globers are so melting. They're so triggered by your presence on TikTok. I had to go look up who you were, and I think you're awesome. And I said, wow, thanks so much, man. Thanks all the Globers for the free publicity, because I couldn't do it without you guys. Yeah, I always say the truth is incontrovertible. Malice will attack it, ignorance will deride it, but in the end, there it is. And I think Churchill was quoted for saying that first, but I don't care. I use it all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, we all know about that hit piece, right? Well, Mark Sargent was here. Bob Nodell was few time here, right? So yeah, we all know what we got out of that, right? So that's was the also one of the reason we had a documentary called "Flatten the Curve," right? So the people can even get the algorithm can find if they're looking for behind the curve, right? So yeah. This is the thing what they do with the editing, right? So anyway, it got to a lot of people. It woke up a lot of people in a way too. So I don't know if you have seen Flatten the Curve, but
you know, I don't know. I have. I've watched The Mechanical Realm. I don't think I've watched Flatten the Curve. And then I've seen the one with all the experts, the people that work in the Navy.
Oh
And
yeah,
do
that's his Flatten the Curve. That is the Flatten the Curve.
Flatten the Curve. All right. So yeah, I have seen that. I thought you had another one called like Level Earth or something like that. I was getting them confused.
No, that's from Sean Hibler. No, that's not mine.
Oh, got you. Right on. So here's my dad, guys. I called my dad and told him the Earth was flat. And this is when nobody knew it's flat. And everyone told me I'm the biggest idiot ever. And my dad called me back a week later and he said, you know what, son? You're on to something. And I said, wow.
Nice.
Wow, bro.
Nice.
If my dad gets it, that's a sign that, you know, I'm doing something right. And that was a little bit of confirmation. I got to see him years later. Here he is with a nice little flat Earth shirt in front of his telescope. But he doesn't look very happy. But I promise that's just his resting face. He's got a resting bitch face. So
That's cool, though, man. It's nice when people you love understand it. Even if they say something like that, they're not fully on, or they're just like, yeah, well, I get what you're saying somewhere, somehow. It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Darren Marble, it was also here with us.
Yeah, this is South Korea. Look how happy everyone is after the speech, or the speech is. I think they all did a great job. It was great traveling over there, and those people there were amazing, bro. Very generous, very hospitable. I mean, almost better than the flat earthers in America, how generous and hospitable they were, and just excellent hosts. So I can't throw it up to them enough, man, for taking me out there. So
I love cultures like that, bro.
Yeah, here we go.
I would love to get out there.
This is a good article by the LA Times. This is me and Bob Nodell and I in Denver, Colorado. I'm wearing my flat earth onesie here. Boom. It says, the earth is round and other myths debunked by the flat earth movement.
That's great. Other myths debunked.
The earth is round and other myths debunked by the flat earth movement. You read that right. I mean,
Awesome.
it's just legendary right here. LA Times, thank you so much. Here we've got an article from The Sun in the UK. Flat out denial. Inside a world of flat earthers who deny the earth is round and think gravity is a myth. Nathan Thompson, 31, of Orange County, California, set up the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion on Facebook. So this is The Sun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? They need to just be quiet about it because they're not doing this.
Exactly. It's reaching more people, right?
I know. So funny. This is the Daily Mail Australia. This is me yelling at a train full of people that the earth is flat. And the Daily Mail Australia said there are still a lot of people who think the earth is flat. And this was, I don't know, 7 years ago. Trust me, there's a lot more now. This is this is a cool story. This is me on stage with my translator. My translator was a 20-year Harvard professor. Or no, Yale. No, he was at Yale. Sorry, I misspoke. He's a Yale professor of music. He was born and raised in South Korea. Daryl and the other gentleman, Clark, they had a different translator, but I got the hard-hitting translator that knew English really well. And so he would incorporate jokes into things I say and make the globe earth look silly and add to what I'm saying because he could understand me really well and communicate that to the audience. And this guy was just a gem, bro. Just a gem. Because I noticed that it was night and day between the translator they had and the translator I had, because I had people laughing left and right. People were so much more engaged. I would say something that would maybe take 3 to 5 seconds for him to say, and he would just run with it for 15 seconds. I'm like, hey, all right, whatever you're saying, bro, that's cool with me, dude. I don't know what you're saying right now, but obviously I said something that triggered a thought in your mind, and you just ran with it, bro. I still to this day have no idea what my Korean translator said to the audience. But yeah, and then in Korea, we took this picture from an elevator. This is just a giant flat Earth map, but it actually has South Korea as the center. You know, how narcissistic is that? So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Robbie Dave.
Robbie, yeah.
What a legend, bro. He was the host of all the international flat Earth conferences. He's got a big part in helping this go mainstream. So thanks, Robbie, for everything you did, buddy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember, Nathan, you were telling me he used to get all the the local news stations wherever they were gathering. He'd get 5, 6, 8 news stations there for the conferences you guys had years ago.
Oh, yeah. No, he would get 20, 30 news stations, bro. He would get mass publicity. It was incredible what he would do. I mean, the conferences that are happening today and the conferences that were happening 3 to 5 years ago, it's night and day. So
I only been to one. That's the one I met you at, bro.
and that was great. The Dean Odell debate where Greg got so triggered and
Bro,
kicked Dean off stage. That was hilarious, bro.
Turn his mic off.
Tell
You're
us some
Bible denier.
tell us some experience of your both being there together to the people.
Oh yeah, I'd never met Gene. I didn't know who Gene was, and he didn't really know who I was. But I walk into a room, and he immediately offered to help me with Geo. I just drove for 3 days to get there, and I was stopping to see friends along the way. So we had a few libations. I might have been tired and sleepy, and Gene immediately was like, "Oh, you need help with Geo?" And he just grabs hold of Geo. And for the first hour, I got to walk around and talk to people and say hi to all my friends. And we kicked it around the hotel, and we were like two peas in a pod, bro. Gene and I, we ended up being really good friends. We've chatted, 5 or 6 times in between the debate and talking today. And I just consider him a really good friend, bro. So I'm glad to have met you. I'm glad the creator brought us together. It's a small, flat world after all.
Same here, brother. I love you, man. You're the best. It was cool. Yeah, I grabbed so we're in the middle of the conference. It's like, peak hour, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, the evening, and Yeah, Nathan saw someone through the crowd, and I'm like, bro, give me the dog. Grab the dog. Nathan takes off, and I said to Kevin Bobbick, I'm like, so who's that guy? He says, that's Nathan Thompson, and I'm like, his voice sounds so familiar. Why do I can't, I couldn't put it together. And then I think Kevin pulled something up and showed me. I was like, oh, no, and then I was like, whoa. And
So this is the New York Post right here. Watch this flat Earth conspiracy get destroyed by a flashlight and a frisbee. Oh my gosh, bro! Can you believe they said that? Yeah, you're gonna debunk the flat Earth with a flashlight and a frisbee, bro. Oh my gosh, dude.
I bet you the idea from the frisbee came from flat Earth.
Oh man, that's funny, dude. Yep, and that's where we're at, bro. There's a Glober who every time I see him on a live on TikTok, he pulls out a paper plate and he starts like waving it around in the air, showing how the reflection would work off of a paper plate. Ever since I brought up specular reflections, like his evidence that we wouldn't have perfect mirror images on a flat stationary Earth is that he pulls out a paper plate and then light shines off of it. And he thinks that's a specular reflection, bro. A perfect mirror image. I'm like, oh man, dude. It's too funny, bro. This is Denver, Colorado. That's ODD right there.
Cool.
So many legends in the picture, but ODD right there.
Hey, how's he doing, bro? Is he all right lately?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him, dude.
All right.
I talked to him. I know he got in trouble with the law a couple years ago. I don't know what he's up to. I wish him all the best.
Yeah, I hope he's all right. I haven't heard from him in an age,
We hope he not turned into a Glober. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully he didn't fall off the edge.
Yo, I gotta tell you, Nathan, I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but people might start asking you for chiropractic manipulation, man. You gave me the best crack I ever had in my life, dude. That's my chiropractor right here, guys.
Yep, let me know if you see me. I'll help you out. So
Wow.
this is me on National Geographic with Rob Skiba testing the Earth. So how many Globers out there can say they're on National Geographic testing the shape of the Earth, bro? Not very many. Not very
For
many.
flat Earth, even no less, right?
Hey, Gio, you be nice. I'm on the phone. You be polite. Oh man,
My dog.
All right.
Maybe he heard Gene.
He's talking to me.
Yeah.
I love him. He's a really cool dog, guys. We hit it off, man. Gio loved me right away. It was so cool. I love animals. There's my dog. What's up, buddy? Look at him.
Oh. You show him, Gio. You gonna fly away with your ears? You gonna fly away? Woo! Woo! Oh, that's what he's shaking at. I got home and I've been so busy. With you guys, I forgot to take off his collar. Hold on, Gio. Hold on. That's why he's shaking, because he's got his shock collar on. Hang on, big guy. Boom.
He was really well behaved with the big crowd and everything. He did not make a fuss, a mess, nothing. He was really cool. And one of the other guys had his dog off a leash and kind of wanted to have a standoff with Gio, and Gio didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, that was a Kangal, bro. They have like the strongest bite force in the dog world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that thing was like 140-pound Kangal off leash. I was like, what is this guy doing, bro? That dog could just kill another dog in one bite, bro.
Wow.
Oh, so yeah, an interesting thing about that National Geographic test, we went out to test, and see what they're doing and make sure they don't manipulate it. Well, we went out there at 7 or 8 in the morning. You could see everything on the other side of the Salton Sea, clear as day, right? So what does National Geographic do? Well, they roll in around 9 or 10 o'clock. Then they want to spend 2 hours interviewing all of us and asking us questions. Then at high noon in Death Valley, like one of the hottest places in the United States, they want to do an observation over water. Hey,
When,
Gio.
when the atmosphere's got all that activity, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, there was stuff that we could clearly observe in the morning that was completely hidden at midday. And so what? The Earth's just changing its size and the curvature is just changing. The Earth's just breathing in and out. No, bro, there was atmospheric effects. They hijacked those atmospheric effects. They weren't even good at it because the horizon was above the boat in the background. And they said that the Earth was curving in front of the boat in the foreground.
Nice.
So, like, if National Geographic can't prove this freaking globe, guys, with all their money and all their resources and all their scientists and everyone they've ever talked to, if they can't go out to a large body of water and prove it, well, then it's not friggin' real. It's just not real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm at a loss, kind of, with some people. Like, what's it gonna take? What really? I really do. I think it's just the ego, and it's probably really confusing for people to have to sort of abandon that education system in such a capacity. I think that might be it. I'm not sure what, it's like, where else they're gonna have to abandon everything they learned out of those buildings? What else? Like, kind of like all of it, guys. Almost all of it. Everything got hijacked a long time ago. All the information's the Rockefeller indoctrination system, and that's worldwide.
Yeah, you've been living in a dream world, Neo.
Right?
Sorry, my dog's going crazy, guys. I need a second.
Oh yeah, when people start seeing things, it's kind of getting out of the matrix, right? First, we have to get out the matrix we see, right?
Really?
And that's why we have what from the past few years, what's going on.
Yeah, bro, and that's really why I think it's all a big test to see where they can, what they can do next.
This is me peeing on the SpaceX sign. I thought you might like that one.
That's great.
This is a E-Bombs world. And then we got, more flat Earth meetups. My ex-girlfriend Ashlyn out in Texas, bro. Just lots of good times with good people, bro. I wouldn't take it back for the world.
Bro, that's really cool, man. You drove for 3 days to get to that conference. A lot of people drove, man. Brian O'Dell drove for like 2.5, 3 days out of Boston, I think, or somewhere in New England. Yeah, a lot of people. I think Keith drove. Well, no, Keith ended up flying. Hey guys, that was my first flight in like probably 30 years. I was afraid to fly. And I was like, nah, I can't. This is a stupid fear I built in myself, and it's irrational. I got no reason for this. I was like, I gotta go do this. I wanted to go there, man. And yep.
So I ran into this guy at a Starbucks, and this video went super viral. Like Bam Margera shared this video. So this guy was a NASA employee who walked in a Starbucks, and I started asking him about why the astronauts are drowning on the spacewalks. And this guy tried to tell me it was their saliva, like it was just an accumulation of their saliva. Like we've just got astronauts are like Saint Bernards in space. They can't swallow their saliva, so they're constantly drowning in their spacesuit. Like that even makes any freaking sense, bro. So when he told me that, I called him a liar, and I told him like you know the truth, bro. And I could tell because you can tell by someone's eyes.
like if you've got a good spirit of discernment, if they're evil and they're lying to you, or if they're honest and they're just, stuck in the middle with you. But stuck in the middle with. So this guy, he's the Sophia pilot, which there's a lot of speculation.
Really?
Yeah, he's the pilot for Sophia.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on the NASA website. Someone went and did some research and found his picture. His name's like Emmanuel or something, but I think you can. Oh no, here, Manny. Yeah, his name's Emmanuel. It says Manny on his thing. They looked at his shirt, and then based on his shirt with his name on it, they went and figured out who he was on the NASA website. And there's lots of speculation that Sophia is actually Hubble, but just infrared. And they
That's
switch
what I
out.
heard.
Yeah, and they switch out the satellites out the side of the plane. But this guy's flying the plane. He would, if this guy's the Sophia pilot, he definitely knows we're being lied to about the nature of our reality. He's definitely signed an NDA. He definitely can't tell anyone. It's a strict need to know basis. And he's probably a Freemason too, if he's that high up and he's piloting Sophia.
Really?
So,
And what isn't Sophia an acronym, Nathan? I think it stands for something.
Yeah, it does. I can Google it real quick.
That'd be cool. I forget what it's.
The NASA. I know it has something to do with infrared. The eye is infrared. Sophia was designed to observe the infrared universe. What is NASA's? Yeah, Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy.
Okay.
Yep, and then there's the airplane. It's missing part of its side, and that's where they put the infrared telescope right there. That's hard to see on your screen, but let me see if I can make it bigger. There we go. See how it's got a hole in the side of the plane? Imagine the images they're getting from this, bro.
Imagine the camera on there.
Yeah, imagine the camera, bro. It's so nice to know we paid for it and aren't going to get to see a darn thing it does.
Look at how black it is above the blue right there, too. Look at how high that thing is.
Yeah, well, that actually is just the camera. It is pretty blue, but yeah, you're right. It does get blacker the more I tilt my laptop back, but it looks like it's getting higher in altitude, huh? Looks like it's increasing in altitude.
Look at that.
See, bro, I'm so good at optical illusions. I should work for NASA myself. I made the Sophia increase like 100,000 feet, just like that, bro. Boom, boom. All right. So that's what Sophia is. Yeah. One of my favorite proofs lately I've been using is their own advanced Earth curve calculator. Now, according to the globe, Earth religion, let's just bring refraction down to 0. All right, here. According to the globe Earth religion, you've got a distance to the horizon at 1.22 miles. I know that's kind of hard to see, but anyone can go do this themselves. Walter Bislin's advanced Earth curve calculator. Now we go down here to refraction, right? And you can mess with this refraction to change the distance to the horizon, right? Do you see how I'm changing the refraction value at the bottom?
Okay.
And it's giving me more resolution above the horizon. And it's also extending the distance to the horizon. So like the Earth curve calculator with refraction puts the horizon at 1.31 miles. So that is this amount of refraction, 1.31 miles. Now, in order to like manipulate this calculator to what we observe with the black swan, which I'll show you guys in a second, you got to take refraction and make it like 10 times what we observe on a normal day, right? So I'm still sliding. Look, I've been sliding all the way to the right. I went from here to here, and look at distance on surface. The horizon's still 2.6 miles out. We are nowhere near 9.5 miles yet, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to keep sliding and sliding. See, this is going up over here from 4 to 5 to, let's stop it right around 9.6 because platform habitat I'll show you is 9.4 miles. Let's just say the horizon's at 9.6, right? Well, that makes the radius value of the Earth 245,258 miles. So we are seeing the Earth in this photo I'm about to show you as if the Earth has the orbital path of the moon. That's our radius value.
Well, didn't that guy say sometimes the Earth appears bigger? Maybe that's what he means.
And so here you've got the picture. This is from 1 foot observer height. We calculated for 5 feet, and still that would put the horizon at 2.7 miles. Platform habitat's 9.4 miles. The horizon is behind and above platform habitat. So we have falsified the globe religion. You guys can all pack up your bags and go home. Welcome to Flat Earth, dude. It's game over, bro. It's open and shut case, ladies and gentlemen. Sprinkle some crack on them, Johnson. We're done here.
And bro, at that it should have some divergence to it. They're both parallel. The further one should be looking a little tilted if it's that further much down.
Yeah,
Should
not
have
only
both.
tilted, bro, but check this out. I'll use my grandma's Happy Easter envelope.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You got the horizon up here, right? Well, the bottom of this platform is down here, right? And then you've got this platform over here, and the bottom of that platform is even further down. So on the globe, I don't know if everyone knows this, but it's a ball, and that ball would be curving in all directions tangent to our feet. So from the shoreline of the ocean, there would be a hill, a curved hill going down from your feet, down. We would not observe things ramping up towards the horizon, which is clearly what we observe. See what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
That's the only way this works is if the Earth is flat, we've got an azimuthal grid of vision, perspective is real, and you live on a flat stationary Earth. There's just no way around it. I'm sorry. And we could get into specular reflections and incident angles and light diffusion and how far we see and why the bottom of buildings are obstructed and this and the sun sets and the moon phases. And we can talk about anything forever, but this is game over for the globe. There is no answer for this. You cannot just extend the radius value of the Earth to the orbital path of the moon to match your observations. That's just intellectually dishonest.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and recently we saw that one guy from Israel. He had an image of the hills near Greece, southern Greece. That's 700 something miles from sea level observation. That's crazy stuff.
Wait,
That
well,
is
that would be a
stuff.
new world record, Vikka. What are you saying? He made that from sea level?
Oh yeah, from the beach, almost from the beach. Yeah, yeah. It's on. I think Taboo Conspiracy have video on his channel. Uh, because he had that same observation, being the sun behind on a particular day behind those hills, and he managed it from a beach. It's crazy, 700 or 600 some miles, but in that range, that is a long distance, man. That is at
Yeah,
sea level.
Really far.
I think that's a new world record. What's he using to view it with? Is it infrared?
No, it's normal image with the sun. It's not infrared or any filter or
Wow.
something.
I've got to go
Have you
check
seen
that out.
that? Have you seen that, Gene? I think for sure people in the chat have seen that.
I'm not sure.
Bro, am I tripping? Has it been 2 hours already?
Yeah, no, it's 1 hour 40 minutes.
Yeah, almost
Till
2 hours.
we,
Remember how we were talking about the concept of time? If I would have had to guess, it felt like 30 minutes I've been talking to you guys.
Mm.
But if we would have spent this amount of time in jail, it would have felt like
2 weeks.
6 hours, right? The concept of time is so weird. If it flies by when you're having fun, and when you're not having fun, it's just like chalkboard on or nails on a chalkboard, dude. It's so
Yeah.
weird how it works.
It really is.
oh, oh yeah. We are almost like we still 20 minutes left for us to start wrapping up, so we can put in things. And before we continue, I just want to give a big shout out to Run Boston Bear for that support on Coffee, brother. Big shout out to you and all the work you do. Chio, we're gonna also be clicking soon with you, brother,
Yo,
and share your
yo,
work.
so, sorry, Vika. This is something I want to say to the audience. If you guys really enjoy Gene and Vika's work, support them directly. I understand everyone wants their name seen on a super chat and this and that. We've all got egos, but if you're truly behind the mission of what Gene and Vika are doing, support them independently, especially if you can. Like directly go to their Patreon, sign up for monthly. But even then, Patreon takes 1 or 3%, whatever. If you can give them the money directly, I highly recommend, because everyone needs support. Obviously, we can all tell their heart is in this. They're in it to win it, and they've got. I don't think they have any ulterior motives or some kind of agenda that they're pushing. So, especially because if there's a few millionaires out there, you, guys, help us out. We need your help, bro. I'm telling you, we need your help. So, and I'm just saying, if you support Gene and Vika, support them, because if you don't, they're gonna go somewhere else. They're gonna go to where that they need to go to survive in this world we live in. And I just hate to see that happen. That because you guys have to pay bills and stuff, you can't do what you love, especially when you're good at it. And Vika, you're good at what you do, and Gene, I think you're great at what you do too. So, like, keep doing what you guys do, brother. But also, Chad, if you're listening to me, support these guys, bro, directly, because I could have never done what I did without flat earthers throwing me $20 here and $20 there, or buying my T-shirts, or buying a book I had for sale, or I mean, they made it all happen for me. They made it all happen for me, dude. So I really appreciate the Flat Earth community. I think Jeremy Bird was in the chat. He's been one of my Patreons for a long time. I'm going to start crying, bro, because sharing Flat Earth has been the highlight of my journey on this plane, dude. It really has. So thank you for everyone that contributed to my journey of waking people up, because I had a lot of fun along the way. I really did. So thank you.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
brother, absolutely. Yeah, Gene, go ahead.
yeah, man, we're gonna have a lot more fun too, brother. This is just the beginning, Nathan. Right, Vika? This is just the beginning, guys. We got a long way to
Oh
go.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh
this is
yeah,
going.
brother.
It's gonna go mainstream eventually, bro. I don't see any way it can't go mainstream. And if you guys haven't seen the Three Body Problem on Netflix, go check it out. Tell your friends about it, but tell them to look for the symbolism stuff. It's hard, I honestly felt bad after I watched Three Body Problem, because I felt bad for one reason. Globers are never gonna understand what a masterpiece that series is. They'll never get it. They'll never be able to get it. And so I felt bad for them for a brief moment. Then I got over it. But it's truly a great film. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. And I got to go. If you have any other documentaries, Vika, I haven't seen other than those two about the experts in the mechanical realm, are there any I'm unfamiliar with?
No, I have clips. I have clips on. If you follow me on Facebook, also I have my page, and also on YouTube here on the same. I have clips of 8 minutes. Apart from that, I have many podcasts. We have 2 years of worth of podcasts. We have gone into everything. But yeah, documentary wise, just two. These are just the two medals I have right now. Right. So uh yep, for sure. It's all open for do more amazing stuff with the truth, right? And yeah, the community is really important. The support of the community is really important, right? And yeah, the community can see, right? The effort of everybody, right? The important thing is that we have to respect everybody, whatever is their belief or way, as long as they are of the same uh, cosmologies, like flat Earth, right? Geocentric. I think we should take it more easy with things, because people have different perspective, different ways of seeing things, and sometimes people can get a little bit emotional, or things could heat up with anybody, right? Could be a friend, family, or any people we are speaking about, right? So yeah, and if we keep that in mind and we respect everything in that sense. I think the community have a lot of potential to take over this fake globe, right? Because there is so much of truth from all around, making that big picture, right? And every effort, every collaboration, every energy that is put there as a community, it's gonna manifest, and we have to keep manifesting it, because we have the truth, we have the divine above us and around us in this, right? So, oh yeah, brother, absolutely. I want to give a quick shout out to Snake, Turban Head, Shane, brother. Good to see
What's
you
up, bro?
here. Awesome. We're gonna be also seeing you soon. And our another good brother, Kevin Bobick,
What's
also
up,
the star
Kevin?
of Flatten the
And the
Curve,
curve,
brother.
brother. So here's something that you and I disagree on, I think, Vika, because Rakia brought it up yesterday. I'll give one more example because I've already given two that lead credence to my argument, but this one's kind of windy. And for some reason, the last 2 days, I have not been able to read. So I do not know why. I don't know. I can't read right now, but for the last 2 days, I'm stumbling over words. I've not gotten enough sleep. I think that's what it is. TikTok has fried my brain. So a prime example of the usefulness of mathematics and science is predicting eclipses. Solar eclipses, known as the Chi Ibal Kin, or to eat the sun, were a particular cause for distress among the Maya people. Eclipses can be terrifying events for those that do not understand the basic reasoning behind the occurrence, and so being prepared for them was very important. Predicting eclipses is considerably more complicated task determining when the sun would rise or set, because it involved correlating the synodic lunations with the solar calendar. In other words, the movement of the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon all had to be taken into account, with no small feat for anyone to accomplish. Since the orbital plane of the Moon is inclined by 5 degrees of the plane of the Earth's orbit, eclipses do not happen at every full moon or new moon. Instead, they occur only when the moon happens to be in the ecliptic plane at the same time, at its correct position in line with the sun and the Earth. So I think it's the moon causing solar eclipses, Vika. But I know you and Rakia think that there's other bodies causing it. I can't see it, bro.
No, there
No,
are people
no,
who
there are
speak.
people who speak.
Oh, I have an
I have
echo.
an
If
echo. If
you want to mute
you
your
want to mute
mic.
your mic.
Yeah. So yeah, I said we are open, right? Uh, I also say that the moon is could be very near during a solar eclipse. Uh, and maybe it's also doing that. But I also say that I'm not saying that it's Rahu or Ketu, another invisible body. My option would be the electromagnetic fields, right, playing a part. That's my opinion. If we speak about the eclipses, like if we see the North Pole as a tree, the electromagnetic as a tree of life, and the luminaries moving all around this pole or this tree, so there are going to be distortions, right? So that's my take, right? But we are open, right, uh, for everything.
Yeah, I was disagreeing with Iron Horse, but the other day, and he's in the chat, so I'll mention this. Okay, on the flat Earth, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn are two different sizes. The Tropic of Capricorn being much larger. So if we consistently have 24-hour days, and the moon or the sun and the moon are moving between the tropics, well, the sun, when it's near the Tropic of Capricorn, has more distance to travel, and it travels that distance in 24 hours. So I think that's evidence that the sun is speeding up and slowing down to account for what we observe. So I don't know. And they say on the globe model, no, it's just the Earth that speeds up and slows down in an elliptical orbit around the sun. So they just attribute the sun's movements to the Earth, but like what we see the sun doing is moving north to south in an analemma, and I think it speeds up in the south and slows down in the north, which is why the points on the analemma aren't equidistant in the north and the south. The points in the north are much closer together, and the points in the south are farther apart, because that fact that the sun is speeding up and slowing down. So But it would have to on a flat Earth because of the radius. You're increasing the radius of those circles. So if you're traveling that circle in 24 hours, it has to be changing its speed, right?
Right, and also
Yes.
we have
Right,
to
and
take in
also we have to take in
into consideration that apart from that orbit, maybe it's also taking increasing and decreasing altitude, right? Might be also playing an effect, could be playing an effect there.
I think we can observe and prove that with the moon, but as far as the altitude of the sun changing, I haven't seen conclusive evidence for that. But the sun does change. That's what it was talking about. Since the orbital plane of the moon is inclined by 5 degrees to the plane of the Earth's orbit, eclipses do not happen every full moon and new moon. So, but I haven't seen conclusive evidence that the sun actually increases in altitude and decreases in altitude. I'm open to it. If anyone has conclusive evidence, please email me, flatearthflyers@gmail.com, but I just haven't seen it yet. But for the moon, I would conclude, yeah, there is evidence that not only goes north and south, but it has a 5 degree, it's inclined at 5 degrees. So it's not on a perfectly flat plane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and could be for all the luminaries, not just the sun and the moon. There are the luminaries playing a part because all these play as orbs, right? All are counted at orbs in astronomy or in astrology at least. They are called counted as orbs. They are numbered as orbs. So, and they're at their altitude or their positions, and with the North Pole in the center, right? And yeah, so could be not because of all luminaries involved and their light, how that falls on different objects, right? Because we only know about the sun and the moon eclipse, right? Even the planets, the luminaries, some of them might be getting eclipsed too, right? When some kind of alignments are happening. And also we are seeing new research that there might be even some luminaries involved, and it's not illuminating because of its positions and also playing a part in the eclipses.
Yeah, I have here on my screen, I got an email from APOD. It's a daily astronomy mail newsletter. The Globers signed me up for this. This is too funny because they got my email. They signed me up for like hundreds of different newsletters that I don't ask to be a part of. But this one was actually interesting because like every 6 out of 7 days, it's just some dumb cartoon. But every once in a while, they got some real gems in here. They sent me this one 2 days ago, and this is the day after I was talking about the ecliptic on TikTok and how we were explaining how it not only explains the sun and the moon, but it explains the path of the planets and their retrograde motion in respect to the sun. And so this right here, it says, discovered by the ancients, this manuscript page provides graphical insight to astronomy in medieval times. Before the Renaissance and the influence of Nicholas Copernicus, Tycho Brahe, Kepler, and Galileo, the intriguing page is from lecture notes on astronomy compiled by the monk Magister Wolfgang de Styria before the year 1490. The top panel clearly illustrates the necessary geometry for a lunar on the left and a solar eclipse in the Earth-centered Ptolemaic system. At lower left is the diagram of the Ptolemaic view of the solar system with text at the upper right to explain the movement of the planets according to a geocentric model. At the lower right is a chart to calculate the date of Easter Sunday in the Julian calendar. So they had all this figured out a long time ago, guys. And this is the ecliptic on the top. Notice how there's like 2 off-center circles in the top. And then on the bottom here, you've got all the planets on their own little rings. And then once you get done reading all the planets, it says spa firmamente, like water firmament. So water above the firmament. I mean, what is going on there? I'm not exactly sure, but I don't read Sanskrit, but that's what I think a lot of this is. I'm not entirely sure though. So Yeah, that's just something else I wanted to add.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of wisdom left by the ancients if you want to see it. If people dig in and spend time, like also we are speaking about the Monte Urbano map, there's a lot of details there. If people really look in, it's maybe it's in Latin or pure Latin, that map, but also have a lot of details. So, oh yeah, so we might be wrapping up for today here. Yes, people, because I didn't find your Nathan your YouTube, right? Do you have a YouTube channel, and where
And where
are you?
are
You are
you?
more active.
You are more.
Where are you more
Yeah, I
active
Where are
have.
you
these
more
days?
active these days?
Yeah, I'm most active on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram would be at FE Flyers. The YouTube would be the Change, one word. And there's about 2,100 subscribers, but it's buried pretty deep in the algorithm. Like I'll search for my own channel, and I'll find other channels that have 2 subscribers before I find my own channel that I type in correctly with 2,000 subscribers. So look for it. It's got a picture of level water as the default picture. And I click on most popular videos, check out the Georgia Guidestone videos. I didn't get to say anything about that, but I did an observation through the Georgia Guidestones where you could see Polaris through a tiny little hole drilled through 3 feet of stone. And that was built 40 years ago. So Globers on TikTok are saying that we got a pet pole star that just drags through the universe with us at breakneck speeds at 433 light years away. And I know if we've got anyone who's ever done, shooting at the range or shot a gun, the farther the target is, the more you change the angle of the gun, the more you're going to be off from your target. So if you got a target that's 10 feet away and you move the gun over slightly, you might be a few inches off of the target. But if you have a target that's a mile away and you move the gun 1 degree, well, now you're off by a football field. So when you put the Polaris at 433 light years away, that means that the Earth's tilt has to remain specifically pointed at that one pinpoint spot in the sky. And then you've got Polaris doing its little circle in the sky, its little wobble, which makes it even harder to see over long periods of time if it's moving through that little hole. So the circles, I mean, you just shouldn't see it. And Globers will say not only Polaris, but all the constellations just drag with us through the universe like they're all on an invisible leash tethered to the Earth. That's why we have fixed constellations and a Polaris. And it's just absolute lunacy, bro. It's so wild.
Oh yeah, brother. It's just people don't have to be rocket scientists, right? And to see this absurdity that they are keeping going on from so many years, right? It's just so obvious. Big shout out to Geocentric in the chat, brother. He's saying he just subbed to Nathan. If anybody have his channel link, put it in the chat, because in the description you can find his YouTube, no, sorry, Facebook link that I found. So I just left that in the description, so people can find him now on the YouTube channel, also on TikTok if you want to catch him more, right? So yeah, brother, thanks for being here, and like keep doing what you do, and we will have our goodbyes after offline, but yeah, last thoughts, brother.
I want to thank you and Gene for having me up. I really appreciate it, letting me share my story with your audience. To the audience, I want to thank you for your time. And I just want to remind you, when you're out sharing the truth with friends and family, be patient and kind. And don't demand the truth. Don't get irritated. And keep no record of anything anyone ever says to you or if they insult you, because it's just going to happen. So what I'm saying is go out there, just be love in the world and show them what love is. And together, I mean, we're all in this together. There's really nothing else we can do at this point. We've just got to take the power back.
Oh yeah, Absolutely, brother. It was a pleasure to have you here. And Gene, brother, last thoughts before we wrap up.
Yeah, bro, Nathan, thanks, brother. I can't thank you enough, man. Sorry about the miscommunication in time there. I said we were 2 hours off, and we were 3 hours off, so that was my bad. I dropped the ball there, guys. So sorry about that. But Nathan jumped in. He's a champ. OG Flat Earther, guys. Nathan Thompson in the house, everybody. Thanks, guys, for spending your time with us. It's always great to see everybody in the chat, super chats. Thanks, guys. I hope you had a good time tonight. I definitely did, and looking forward to more chats, brother. Vika, we got a packed calendar, and it's not always easy to get people on. So Nathan, we really appreciate you, brother, and definitely keep doing what you're doing, bro. We'll see you again soon, man. We'll work on something together, bro.
I hope so. I don't hold you accountable. I'm going to blame it on TikTok.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So there you have it, people. Nathan Thompson was here with us tonight, and thanks for being here, brother. Thanks, Gene. And yes, check us out on the next episode. We also are having amazing guests from the Firmamental. Alex, Paul, and Raul will be visiting us next week again. So this is Vikka Draziv signing out. See you next week. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Good
Gene.
night,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, Nathan. Good night. Bye, everyone. See
One.
you soon.
See you soon.